you want to know who killed Lilian, right? That's why you're here. That's why you eagerly awaited this video this whole month. Well, sit back, relax, grab something to eat, and get ready. Because I'm about to tell you the real story. Right. Well, first off, sorry for the long wait. Some unforeseen circumstances, mostly involving school and my inevitable laziness, delayed me these past weeks. So, what really happened the night of October 31st? Well, in order to properly explain the events, I must fill you in on a bit of backstory. Lilian lived alone in her big house in New York. She inherited it, along with a large fortune, from her parents when they passed. As Pip told the investigator, she had no one to guide her as she went through the tough transition of high school to college. So Lilian turned to Pip, and their relationship quickly turned romantic. Over the next few years, the two exchanged intimate letters and would frequently visit one another secretly. A very limited handful of people knew about their relationship. These people included Lilian's hired help, her best friends, Blair and Wilson, and unfortunately, her ex-aunt, Victoria.
I'm sure to seeing that man.
Lilian was often left alone in her huge house, and one night, Blair and Wilson wanted to take her out with a group of their own friends. Among these friends was Maxwell Henry Hunt, a free-thinking romantic who loved to travel and instantly fell in love with Lilian. Luckily for him, the feeling was mutual. The news, however, did not fall well on the great Wilson Von Rhodes, who kept the fact that he was gay from everyone but his sister, and was suffering from some serious love sickness for Maxwell. Eventually, Maxwell asked Lilian to break up with the doctor and go away with him on a long trip, backpacking through Europe. She agreed. Wilson's feelings unbeknownst to Lilian, she delightedly told her best friends the news. The night before they were to leave town, Lilian invited some of her trusted friends for one last game, though this game was unlike any she had put on before. She had seen what money does to people. She saw the way it poisoned her ex-aunt Victoria, what it had made that woman do. She saw how it ate at people every day, how hard they worked for it, how it ruined them when they finally got it. Saw how it was affecting her friends, how it made them jealous and conceited and selfish. She decided she'd had enough, and to start a new life with Maxwell. A better life. So she invited her friends. She paired off her friends, and she sent them on a scavenger hunt through her house, while she tucked herself away in her room to pack for the upcoming voyage, and signed some last-minute papers having to do with where her money was to be donated. Little did she know that in her very house, a plot was being formed. As a little joke of her own, Lilian had paired up Sir Charles Danger Nuremberg and Blair Von Rhodes, knowing they would each annoy the other. So, partway through the night, Sir Charles had decided he'd had enough and snuck away from our unsuspecting Von twin. He used his Swedish wit and found the final clue on his own and turned it into Lily. It wasn't until he was out of the house that he opened the envelope simply to find a letter. Not exactly what he'd been expecting. And as anyone who knows him will tell you, Sir Charles has always had a bit of an uncontrollable temper. Meanwhile, back in the house, Maxwell had come by to check up on Lilian's packing progress and make sure she was all right. His original plan was to stay the rest of the night with her, but he received an urgent call from his brother. After kissing Lilian and promising he'd be back in a few hours, Maxwell Henry Hunt left the Giles Moore abode. Only a few floors below them, Wilson and Annie were searching somewhere around the basement. Annie, desperately in love with Wilson since her 13th birthday party when Lilian had brought him along with her, was blatantly flirting. Wilson, too preoccupied with the fact that the love of his life was leaving that night, wasn't really paying any attention to her. Annie, perceptive in spite of being 16, noticed and asked him about it. As he twisted the truth and explained how Lilian had broken his heart, his sister, searching for her long-gone partner, stumbled upon them in the basement. The tale affected both of the girls in different ways. Annie, desperate for Wilson's affection, and Blair, seeing the other half of her embryo in pain, would do anything in their power for the charming Wilson. A few floors above this disturbing little conference, Victoria and Pip Arkillick were searching. Well, point in fact, Pip was searching. Victoria was drinking, and shamelessly trying to make Pip her fourth husband. The drinking bubbled up feelings of jealousy and distrust she'd been working on burying all these years. And in an attempt to foil Pip, she excused herself to a bathroom she knew had a secret passage to other parts of the house. While waiting, Pip got to thinking about things he was desperately trying to forget, like how the woman he had been planning to propose to in the next few years had decided to leave him. Not only to leave him, but leave him for a younger man who was foolish and had no responsibilities, who couldn't even fathom what responsibility is. There is no way he can take care of Lilian, and how dare Lilian for thinking he could, for giving up the great things she and Pip had. Needless to say, Pip left his post by the bathroom door before Victoria had even emerged. Back in her room, Lilian patiently folded her clothes as the door was slowly pushed open. Lilian stood to see her good friend. She smiled warmly and hugged them. She told them she'd miss them when they went away, and that she'd loved them more than any of the others. She apologized for everything. Then she realized they must be there for the prize. Lilian turned her back on her good friend to get another envelope. But Lilian never turned back around. Because before she could, Blair Vaughn Rhodes hit her good friend over the head with an iron that had been sitting on Lilian's bed. Blair, knowing the true extent of Wilson's pain, had acted on his silent request in the basement. The depth of her love for her brother trumped any friendship she had had with Lilian. When Wilson saw what she had done, he phoned Maxwell, informing him what had happened and that he should get out of town. Maxwell waited around until the funeral, then flew out to Europe. He proceeded to write many angst-filled MySpace blogs during his journey. Wilson, his love for his sister great, requested the gullible Amy Q. Donovan to confess to the murder to cover for Blair. And that's when the police arrived. Winners? Winners, you ask? Did you really think I'd forget? Why, of course there are winners. Ow. And you might just be one of them. Winner for most creative theory. X Marley Cullen X, who didn't give me a link to a picture. I consulted a few friends, and her idea of Lilian's assisted suicide swept the board for creativity. And MVP, the most involved player throughout the game, Maz Will Rock You, who regularly commented, actively participated, and just rocked the game. Obviously, because her name, get it? No? Okay. And a winner for closest theory and choice of the mediocre prizes. Why, Luna Sissa Lovefoy. I suck at pronunciation, I'm really sorry. Who is spot on with her theory of accusing Wilson of enlisting his sister's scheming brain to kill their friend Lilian. So I need you three to message in and tell me which of the theory prizes you prefer. Since I never announced a third prize, if you don't want either of the two I listed, I'm sure we can work something out. So there you have it. I hope you had as much fun playing as I did these past few months. Again, I apologize for the delay of this final video. Thank you all for playing. For a special bonus outtake video, see the video this one is a response to. I think that's the most the word video has been used in that short amount of time in a while. Yeah. Okay, bye.